There are many misconceptions regarding the sacrificial system of the Scriptures. Many think it was a barbaric method to appease the gods with animal sacrifices. But is this what the Scriptures teach? You might be surprised to hear that we practice this same sacrificial system here in America today. Here is an illustration to demonstrate the sacrificial system for today. Here is the sacrificial system of America. Here in America, we have a law. We call this law the United States Constitution. This law is supported by various statutes and judgments, such as the United States Code and the many U.S. court decisions. The Bible is the same. It also has a law called the Ten Commandments located inside the Ark of the Covenant. This law is also supported by various statutes and judgments, such as the law placed on the side of the Ark and the many Hebrew court decisions. In America, the person responsible to enforce the law is called the police. In the Bible, the person responsible to enforce the law is the high priest servant. The high priest servant is the one who arrested the Messiah. He is also the one of whom Peter cut his ear off. In America, when you break a law, it is called a crime. And those who commit crimes are called criminals. In the Bible, when you break a law, it is called a sin. And those who commit sins are called sinners. In America, when you commit a crime, you might be arrested. The same is true in the Bible. Stephen was arrested by the Jewish leaders in Acts chapter 6. In America, before you are arrested, the prosecuting attorney will ask for a bench warrant from the judge. In the Bible, the Apostle Paul sought letters from the high priest to persecute or prosecute the believers. Remember, the Apostle Paul was a lawyer who studied under Gamaliel. He would be like our modern-day prosecuting attorneys. In America, when you are arrested, you go to the courthouse. In the Bible, when you are arrested, you go to the tabernacle, which later became the temple. In America, when a criminal is sent to the courthouse, they go to the courthouse jail. In the Bible, when a sinner is sent to the temple, they go to the temple ward. In America, after you pay your court costs, you go to trial in the courtroom. Here you will have a lawyer who will enter a plea on your behalf before a judge wearing a long black robe. Then the judge will listen to witnesses, facts, and evidence. All this is done before a jury of your peers. In the Bible, after you pay your heave offering, you will go to trial in the holy place. The high priest was always to wear his breastplate of judgment in the holy place. Here you will have an intercessor who will enter a prayer for relief on your behalf before the high priest who wears a long purple robe. Then the high priest will listen to witnesses, facts, and evidence. This was always done before the congregation as a jury. In America, if you are found guilty by the judge, you will have to pay a fine. This fine can be a monetary fine, prison time, or even the death penalty in some cases. In the Bible, if you are found guilty by the high priest, you will have to pay a sacrifice. You will have to kill an animal and make a payment in meat. In some cases, you might receive a death penalty by stoning. As you can see, America practices the same sacrificial system that the Bible does. In America, we have the police to enforce the law. The Bible has the high priest servant. In America, when you break the law, it is called a crime. In the Bible, it is called a sin. In America, those who commit crimes are criminals. In the Bible, those who commit sins are sinners. In America, criminals are sent to the courthouse where they sit in jail until their trial. In the Bible, sinners are sent to the temple where they sit and ward until their trial. In America, the trial is in the courtroom. In the Bible, the trial is in the holy place. In America, a judge oversees the trial. In the Bible, the high priest oversees the trial. In America, the judge sits behind the bench. In the Bible, the high priest sits behind the altar. In America, a lawyer represents you. In the Bible, an intercessor represents you. In America, you enter a plea. In the Bible, you enter a prayer for relief. In America, you pay court costs. In the Bible, you pay a heave offering. In America, you pay a fine. In the Bible, you pay a sacrifice. In America, this is called the judicial system. In the Bible, this is called the Levitical priesthood. In America, the judicial system has various levels. At the top, you have the Supreme Court. Next, you have the various appellate courts. And finally, you have many district courts across the land. You start out at the district courts. If you disagree with their judgment, you can appeal all the way up to the Supreme Court. In the Bible, the Levitical priesthood also has various levels, such as rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. At the top, you have the temple. Next, you have the rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds. And finally, you have the rulers of 50s and rulers of 10s. You start out with the rulers of 50s and rulers of 10s. If you disagree with their judgment, you can appeal all the way up to the temple on the Day of Atonement. As you can see, the judicial system of America is the same as the Levitical priesthood of the Bible. The question to ask is this: are we still to follow this same system today? In America, the judge sits in the seat of judgment. It is here where each sentence is given. In the Bible, the priest would sit in Moses' seat. It was here where each sentence was given. The Messiah confirmed in Matthew 23 that we are still to follow this same judicial system when he said, "The scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do." Today, we do practice this same judicial system. We call it the civil service. The Bible called it the service of the Levites.